my grandfather, Charles, started the business in 1925. He had served in the First World War in France and came back after the war and tried a few different things before starting up a farm that he called At Last a Farm because he always had a dream of having a farm, and at last he had a farm. So he named the business At Last a Farm. They raised chickens, they did slaughtering, and they sold chicken meat and eggs to restaurants around Northern Illinois back at the time. So it was a very small and humble beginning.
And can you talk a bit about how Suter Company has expanded in the century?
Yeah. So over the 100 years of being in business, there's been a lot of evolution of our product lines. They struggled in the beginning through the Great Depression, World War II. Actually had to close down for a few months during World War II, but fortunately reopened. And all that time, they moved around some. They started out in Palatine, moved to Genoa, downtown Sycamore, and eventually to one of our current locations on May Street in Sycamore, Illinois. So very humble and difficult beginning, just surviving, let alone starting to think about growing. But in the 1950s, there were some key decisions made to get out of the slaughtering operation and to start canning. And that's when the company really started to grow and turn into more than just a small local company. Started some regional and then eventually national distribution of some canned chicken products. So chicken has been a common theme that's run through all of our products over the years, including still today, one of our most popular products is still chicken salad. So over the years, there's just always been an emphasis on outstanding customer service, product innovation, and following consumer trends and demands so that we can respond to what the needs of the consumers are and the way the world is eating, so to speak. So today, a lot of our foods are based on convenience because, as we know, families are busy, they have a lot of priorities to juggle, and we don't spend as much time preparing meals as we used to. So convenience is a big driver of our business these days.
And some of your products, it's something people may not see Suter Company logo on them, but they are in stores like Aldi. Can you kind of just talk a bit, I guess, about that? And as you were saying too, just kind of the nationwide presence that you have with your products.
Yeah, so our approach to market is a little bit unusual in that we focus on what we call both private label and co-pack opportunities. So we don't have our own brand. So our products end up primarily in retail establishments under either the store brand, which would be a private label, or the brand of another manufacturer, which would be a co-pack opportunity. So in our business, we don't get the recognition or the brand awareness, but we're primarily a manufacturing company, so we're able to fill gaps for our customers where they can't get otherwise get products like the ones that we make.
And can you talk about the two different sites you have? There's this one, and then there's, as Ashley was telling me, a secondary production facility.
Yeah, so we have two facilities. Both are located in Sycamore, Illinois. Both are food processing facilities, fully inspected by both the USDA as well as the FDA. At our older site, that's where our canning operation is. And here at the main facility on Bethany Road is where we house our assembly operation, our refrigerated products division, as well as all the administrative offices.
How much product can these workers in the warehouses go through in a day?
Yeah, so production is quite extensive. It's not uncommon in a single day in our refrigerated operation to produce several 100,000 pounds in a day, and it's not uncommon in a day on the shelf-stable side of our business where we do the canning and kit assembly to do as many as 400,000 or so units in a day. So very high output operations serving customers all across the United States and Canada. Never imagined that we would make it to 100 years, and I'm certain my grandpa and my dad even really never believed that that would happen or thought about much about that happening, but it's really an honor. There's only currently about 1,000 businesses in the United States that have reached, that are 100 years old or older. So it's pretty rare, and it's especially rare because now that we're an employee-owned company, there are not very many employee-owned companies in the United States. So to be both employee-owned and 100 years old, this has really been a special year.
Can you talk about that decision on going to employee-owned?
Yeah. So after about 95 years of family ownership and operation, we started to think about the long term and what our succession plan was for the company. As I mentioned, we love being here in our community. We care deeply about our employees. And we did not really want to sell the business to an unrelated third party. And so we started to explore the concept of employee ownership and quickly learned just that it was going to be an ideal fit for our company and for our employees. And so in 2020, September of 2020, the Suter family sold the business to our employees. And so now we are 100% employee owned. And so it's a really neat, it's a lot of fun for me, frankly, but it's a really neat setup where our employees now have a vested interest in the success of the company. And so we see very high levels of engagement and employee retention, and we're able to attract world-class talent to come join our company, and everyone gets the opportunity to become an owner, which is pretty neat.